Okay, Andy, I was interested that you said that you were bouncing off the walls at one point, wanting to have a bet. Now, years ago, I was a smoker, and I know how difficult it is to give up smoking. You've got that craving that can only be satisfied if you have a cigarette. Is it similar for a gambling addict?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it was. Everyone's different in their recoveries and how they stop and what they do and what they try and achieve. Like I say, that urge is there. It can be there. Like I say, I've talked about my bit where I had the Chinese and stuff and all that lot, but it made me stop gambling. I mean, I've heard stories of one guy who said he had a problem with football betting, and he about 4 or 5 weeks into his recovery, and he told this story. He was desperate to have a bet on the football, and it was Saturday afternoon, and it got to about 2:30, 3:15, and he couldn't take it anymore. So he decided to go out in his back garden and dig a hole. Just dig a hole for 2 hours. And now I know what he's been doing since. He's actually got like growing vegetables in his garden and stuff and all that. So I know it sounds daft and stuff, but it's normal to us. We want to be normal. I want to be boring. I really want to be boring. I'm either high as a kite or low down here. I just want to boring, pay my bills, and do all the normal stuff that we do. Take the kids to school, bring them back, go and do me 8 hours at work, and so to speak, and stuff like that. In those early days, them urges are there, and you're like, oh, I really want to get there, I really want to do this, want to go do that. So it's imperative you get those blocks in place and putting them barriers in place. I was treated like a kid. I had to be treated like a kid. I had pocket money, like a couple of quid a day, so I can spend for my dinner and things like that. But it helped me to stop gambling. It helped me to be more responsible. Helped me to try and lead a normal life as possible, whilst having in the midst of this addiction, trying to stop. And it helped me with all those silly little call them silly little barriers, but they were perfect for me. And those little behaviours I had, it taught me to be more honest. Taught me not to lie. And it changed me as a person as well, because I was quite a confrontational person. Not like violently, but as in, I was like, if someone told me the grass is green, I'll tell them it was effing blue. I was like that, and it taught me to like not shoot first. It taught me to stop shooting first and ask questions later. It taught me to breathe and do the second thing that come into my head, so to speak. That's where I am with probably the urges and stuff really now. I mean, nowadays, I'm 99% certain I'll never gamble again. I've just got to keep that 1% in check.
You said you smashed your laptop up.
Yeah.
Now your mobile phone's got to be a lot more dangerous than that
Yeah.
laptop ever was. Have you got to that stage where you can...
Yeah, I'm at that stage where I'm okay with my phone and stuff and all that. The biggest barrier I've got is we've got a joint bank account, and I know full well if I gambled again, she'd see it, and I wouldn't want to cover it up. I'd tell her the truth, so to speak. But at the start, there's loads of blocks in place that you could have, especially on the phones. There is GamBlock, there's GamStop, which is most bookmakers in the online industry are signed up to. There's also Gamban app as well, which is predominantly for phones, iPads and things and all that lot. They are fantastic tools to actually block all sites and everything onto your system. There's also selfexclusion.co.uk as well, which helps you centrally exclude from bookmakers as well. But it is a two-way thing. You have to do it for you. There's no one out. As much as how you gamble, no one made you gamble. No one can make you stop but yourself. It is down to the individual, and you can do it. It is such a hard, long journey, but you can get there.
Now, somebody's watching this. They probably know deep down that they have got a problem, or they are on the verge of that slippery slope. Now, you are a success story. You've come out the other end happy. There must be a lot worse outcomes out there.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about gambling addiction. It's the highest rate of suicides in males under 35 is gambling, due to gambling addiction and gambling problems. There is some absolutely horrific stories you need to Google, and YouTube, and there is some people who do talk about it openly who have lost their loved ones. There's a Gamble with Lives who, unfortunately, that couple, Liz and Charles, lost their son, and it's a horrific story. And I applaud them for like trying to raise awareness and trying to raise certain campaigns of what they want to do and stuff, basically. But I mean, I've been in rooms where people are on the verge, or on rock bottom, and they have attempted suicide, and it can affect absolutely anyone. I've sat in GA rooms with a person who hasn't got a pot to piss in on one side and a multimillionaire on the other side of me. It all affects the same person. If the money's relative, it's how they feel, how you feel, and if you're feeling that low to take your life, it's not about that money at the end of the day. It's about that compulsion to gamble, and it is difficult. But as I say with my story, and there's many other thousands of stories out there what you can read about and talk about, and there is help, there is hope. You can get there one day at a time. Don't set yourself any targets, because that's a shortcut to gambling again. But if you're feeling at that pit midst of rock bottom, trust me, I've been there. I know where you've been. I've been there, and I know how hard and how horrible it is. I've been in there where I'm thinking, there's no way out. I can't do this anymore. There's no way I can't stop. I would have laughed so much at you if someone told me at a GA room when I first went in that I'll be over 11 and a half years gamble free. Laughed at you. But
right, there's one thing that people got, watching this, and people are going to say, bookmaking and gambling is a legal business and a legal pastime in the UK. The same as pubs are, and the same as it is to sell tobacco, even though it's been restricted and stuff. At what point do you think the bookmakers should stop feeling guilty, and how restricted do you think bookmakers should be banned altogether? I mean, the misery they're causing people. Is the bookmaking industry something that should be outlawed, or where's the point that they should stop beating themselves up about, truthfully terrible stories like yourselves and other people's? But is there a point where they do not have responsibility?
As I say, I'm personally responsible for my own actions as the individual, and that's how you're going to have to stop. You have to come to terms with that. Industry, waste of time banning it and stuff. There's millions and millions of people who gamble for fun, within their own means, within their limits. My dad still gambles, and he's absolutely fine with it. It's me who has the problem. It's me who has to deal with that. Me who has to stop. Me who has to fight for my recovery. Industry could do more, as I've mentioned previously, but it is a two-way thing. You can't be anti this, anti that. We've got to be pro trying to help and pro be responsible, and the industry could probably be a bit more proactive, which I've seen in the news lately with regards to TV advertisements and things like that, which is a good thing, and it is positive steps. There is more needed to be done, but we've got to be respectful of it. The industry are there to make money at the end of the day. It is a business, and it's a profitable business, and we've got to know the risks as gamblers that you can lose money.
Now, you spend a lot of your time these days helping other people. You're becoming quite well known on you've been on TV a few times and radio shows, etc. What really do you think was the most helpful to you on your road to recovery? And it is helping others now also therapeutic to you?
Yeah, obviously I do my vlog, and I live vlog quite a lot, and do quite a few pre-records as well. And obviously I'm quite wide open with it on the Twitter and social media. It helps me as well when people come to me with how they're feeling and stuff and all that. Like, even people, it helps me just as much someone who's probably 1 week off being somebody else who's 25 years off gambling. I'm still learning, I'm still listening about my addiction. There's loads of stuff to talk about. I can safely say in the 2.5 years since I started the vlog, I've had over 600 people message me for help or just to talk to, just to chat. it is quite tip of the iceberg kind of stuff, and then a majority of them are males under the age of 21 as well, and it's heartbreaking to see people struggling, because it reminds me of how far I've come in a way. I have to be selfish, I have to look after my recovery first, but it is quite helpful to listen to others, how they're speaking and how they are and where they've been and why they're going on their journey as well, and it helps me quite greatly now, talking to as many people as possible, so I could keep listening, I could keep learning.
Do the industry ask for your opinion? The Gambling Commission, are you involved with any of their studies or their input?
Yes, I've done a bit of stuff with their surveys and things like that. I actually have met Tim Miller as well privately, and had a good discussion with him for a good hour and a half at the offices in Birmingham. I get around the conferences a bit, like Gamble Aware and stuff and all that, and I have done bits of education work as well with like the likes of Why Gambling, Epic, but I've met some CEOs of certain online gambling companies as well privately, and in like conference places and stuff as well, and they do try and pick your brains, and I do feel there has been a big sea change, and I think it'll be even more so next 12 to 24 months. The gambling industry want to talk to more of the likes of me with lived-in experience, and I'm more than happy to share how I think and what they think they do and what they want to do and where they want to move on in a positive nature.
So do you think the bookmaking industry actually do care now, or as opposed to the cynics that might think it's just a PR exercise, show a bit of lip service?
Yeah, I think you're always going to get that. I think, but that's with any industry, so to speak, with being alcohol or whatnot or anything like that. I think they're split into two camps. Ones who are really there, they're really on the edge of it, doing stuff and trying to really get to grips with it. And then you've got another camp who are, want to do something, really want to do something, but haven't got a clue about wanting to do and how to do it and how to achieve it. And hopefully, like I say, people like me will happily talk to them and probably try and guide them somewhere where they need to be and where they want to be, and trying to prevent the harm that gambling can cause.
You say you do vlogs. Where can people watch your vlogs?
My vlog, if you just YouTube a name, Andy Margett, or my Twitter as well is @BaronMad79. You'll find me on there quite a lot as well. I'm wide open. Feel free to ask me any questions. I will do so. I'm fair game for any points I make and what my beliefs are and stuff. And if you are struggling, or if you want to talk privately, feel free to DM me as well. I know people like to be anonymous and stuff and all that lot. I'll always reply as long as you want to talk. Okay,
you've preempted my final question there pretty well, but somebody's watching this now. They are in bits. They've got to the point where you were. They've recognised the signs. What would your immediate advice for immediate action to them be?
Yeah, obviously I can't tell people what to do, but what I did, best thing I ever did was tell my partner, tell family, tell someone you're struggling, open up and talk. I can't guarantee reactions or anything like that, but you'll feel so much better to have it off your chest, and that's your first step on the road to recovery. Then possibly go to Gamblers Anonymous, get to the meetings, be around people who feel the same as you have done. Try GamCare, one-to-one little meetings there, what they do. Talk to as many people as possible. Be open and honest about yourself. Be anonymous if you like, but keep talking, and that'll be the best thing you can do.
Brilliant advice, Andy Margett. Thank you very much.
Thank you.